Vande Sambhumapatim Suragurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pannagabhushanam Sashidharam Vande Pasunam Patim Vande Surya Shashanka Vandhinayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhaktajana Asriyam Chavaradam Vande Bhaktajana Asriyam Chavaradam Vande Sivam Shankaram. Friends, yoga is physical soundness. Yoga is psychic or mental purity. Yoga is moral excellence, uprightness. Yoga is ethical excellence. We have a popular statement, people saying, I do yoga. I am good at yoga. I am practicing yoga. When you say I am practicing yoga, I do yoga, it means several things. Suppose I say, I came from Delhi. It means in Delhi, from my residence, I went to the airport by a taxi, by an auto, or by some means that is understood. From the railway station entrance, I walked in, climbed up the footover bridge, climbed down, entered the compartment, went to my berth, and there I sat for some time, quarreled with my neighbor, talked to my friend, took a cup of coffee, read the newspaper, talked to my wife, quarreled with my wife, and then after about 10 o'clock I slept. When I woke up, I found chai. I took chai, and then I continued. All these 36 hours of details are understood if you came by Rajdhani Express. Or if it is an aeroplane, again an experience. I went there 1 hour before, reporting time, they were announcing. I walked in, I boarded. All the details of about 5 hours are understood. But we say, I came from Delhi yesterday. When I say I came from Delhi, so many details are understood. I go to Hyderabad tomorrow. That means so many details are understood. Every day we make many statements. When I make a statement, so much of meaning is hidden, so much is to be understood by the listener. I had my breakfast. Very simple sentence. From my room, I went, I sat, I quarreled, I ate, and it took about half an hour. Half an hour details you are not explaining. Similarly, when you say I am doing yoga, Patanjali has 8 sub-items. All those sub-items are understood. I am doing yoga. Are you doing the first one, Yama? Yama has 5 sub-elements. Yama means discipline. Am I disciplined? Do I have that discipline component of Yama, discipline component of yoga, Brahmacharya? I know it's most dangerous. I don't want to be a Brahmachari, that's why I want to do yoga. I want to enjoy the pleasures of the body. But Patanjali says Brahmacharya is an essential component of yoga. Sir, I don't want to go by road, sir, I will fly, sir. Even then there is another. If you go to Bhakti Yoga, there are certain details in Bhakti Yoga. Procedural means. No, sir. I want to be a karmistry. I want to do Karma Yoga. In Karma Yoga, there are many details. If you go by road, there are certain rules and regulations to be observed. If you go by train, there are certain rules and regulations to be observed. If you fly, there are certain rules and regulations to be observed. If you take to the path of Raja Yoga, there are certain minor conditions, major conditions, certain rules and regulations to be observed. You cannot fly from your own room. Even then you have to come out of your room. There are certain limitations. Very often we make statements with the understanding that others understand and I understand. Now, when we say that we are doing Raj Yoga, what is the meaning? The first thing is Satya. No, sir. I cannot adhere to truth. Poor fellow Harish Chandra had to suffer a lot, sir. Why do you want me to suffer like Harish Chandra? He lost his kingdom. He lost his wife. He lost his son. Ultimately, he became a person in charge of the burial ground, cremation ground. He had to kill his own wife. Last only he was saved. Do you mean to say that we should suffer like that? Harish Chandra was, according to the story, if you know the story, he was a very successful, victorious, happy king for 10,000 years. And in heaven, there was a conversation between two people. One man said, is there any person who will not tell a lie on the earth? The other said, impossible. Man tells lies. Woman tells more lies. There is no exception. Everybody is a teller of lies. Then the other person said, no, you are wrong. There is a gentleman called Harish Chandra. He does not tell a lie. He always speaks truth. Challenge. If Ceylon is defeated, I shall pay you $1,000. If Pakistan is defeated, I shall give you $5,000. Two people are arguing, sitting here. The match is taking place somewhere else. Similarly, this Vasishtha and Vishwamitra were quarreling. There is a man who will not tell a lie. There is a man who does speak only lies. Then I will test. Vishwamitra came from the heaven to test whether Harish Chandra would tell a lie. 2 years he tested. And all the sufferings, all the difficulties were only for 2 years. At the end of the second year, successfully Harish Chandra completed all his trials and tribulations, all his sufferings, and Lord Shiva came, Vishnu came, Brahma came, all the Devas came, the kingdom was restored, wife was brought back, son was brought back, and he became a very, very happy king for another 40,000 years. Before the test started, Harish Chandra was a successful, happy king for 10,000 years. After the test and examination, he was successful 40,000 years. That means 10 plus 40, 50,000 years he was a happy king. Now the student will ask, sir, wonderful story you are telling, sir. Is there a man who can live for 50,000 years, sir? No, he may not live. 50 years he can be the king. Yes, sir. 50 I can understand. Then you strike the 3 ciphers. 50 years, Harish Chandra was a happy king. When he lived 50,000 years as a successful king, his testing period, his suffering period, his trials and tribulations were only for 2 years. When 50,000 year period is reduced to 50 years, it is a logical, proportionate reduction. 2 years must be reduced to 2 days. 2 years must be reduced to 2 hours. 2 years must be reduced to 2 minutes. So the suffering part is always very simple, very small, very brief, very short. The enjoying part is very much. Similarly, when you practice yoga, the suffering part, the difficult part is only for a short period. I fly from Delhi to Bangalore, but I have to suffer. Up to the airport there in Delhi, from the airport in Bangalore to Bannerghatta, there is a suffering period, but I enjoy. Now, the psychic happiness is much more. Therefore, Patanjali speaks of the minimum conveniences in the beginning. Brahmacharya, Satya, Aparigraha, don't accept anything from anybody. And then he says, you will have to be compassionate. Advesta sarvabhutanam maitraha karumayevacha. If you are not able to love all the people all over the globe, all the lives all over the globe, in the entire universe, if there is an object which you hate, you are unfit to be a yogi. Advesta sarvabhutanam maitraha karumayevacha nirmamo nirahankara. We are reciting these slokas in our Maitrimilan session. Bhagavad Gita slokas, and everywhere the qualifications of a yogi are wonderfully prescribed, explained, and the next sub-item we don't follow aparigraha. If anybody gives anything, grabbing tendency must be changed into giving tendency. We are more and more possessive, more and more generous we have to be. From the possessive psychology to the generosity psychology, if we develop, we are becoming yogis. There are sub-items: Satya, Brahmacharya, Ahimsa, Aparigraha, Asteya. You are only a trustee of the property. You cannot own everything. You cannot own your own body. It is not in your hands. It is in the hands of Yama. Anytime he will come and demand your life, drop the body. Earth takes a part of it, air takes a part of it, fire takes a part of it, water takes a part of it. They have lent this body for some time for our use. It's a rented house, borrowed house. We have to return it. Asteya. These sub-items I don't want to observe. And then, if you go to the next one, Niyama, there are 5 again. Saucha, cleanliness, not physical cleanliness. If I give you a pot, and if the pot is rotten, if it is dusty, if it is dirty, if it is full of ditch water, if you pour milk, it becomes poisonous. Any yogic sadhana will be useless if we are not able to maintain the inner cleanliness and outer cleanliness. Chitta Suddhi. Right from the times of Adi Shankara till today, we find Chitta Suddhi being propagated by everybody. Without that, no yoga is possible, and therefore, let us try to bestow attention, saucha, santosha, contentment. Whatever happens, wherever we may be, a sort of contentment. Always thinking that the present is bad and the future is offering something. Always trying to be right. When you are unable to enjoy the present, what is the guarantee that you will be in a position to enjoy the future? I am not happy with my wife. What is the guarantee that the future wife would be giving better happiness than this woman? Absolutely no sense. I am unfit to enjoy the present. I will be equally unfit to enjoy the future. A person who is capable of enjoying will be always contented. Saucha, santosha is content. Santusta satatam naraha nirmamo nirahankaraha. Beautifully Sri Krishna says, santustaha satatam. Always, under all circumstances, there must be contentment. When a person is unable to be contented, what yoga can he achieve? Saucham, santosham, swadhyaya. Sadhyaya is observation, what is happening inside. What is happening in my digestive system? What is happening in my blood circulation? What is happening in my heartbeat? What is happening in my mind? I turn the lights inside, I focus my thoughts inside, I focus my searchlight inside, and there is God within. Let me search for Him, let me spotlight, and I will be the best to enjoy it. Instead of going on a pilgrimage, why don't you make a pilgrimage of your body, mind, intellect, equipment? Turn the lights inward, and that is meant by Swadhyaya, not going to the library and sitting and reading the books. Observe, scan time that girl morning said, scan your entire from top to toe. Are we scanning? We just blindly listen to it with our thoughts elsewhere. We never know what is meant by scanning, steadily, quickly, powerfully, penetratingly observing the entire movement of thought, body and everything. That scanning is wonderful. Now you find ultimately Ishvara Pranidhana. Do we surrender? These are the items. When I am doing yoga, it is understood that I am observing all these things. Having come to Prashant Kutir, let us not make blind statements. Let us not make sweeping sentiments. I am doing yoga. I went recently to Bombay, my sister is there. And she says, oh, every day I do yoga. And she is highly quarrelsome. She fights with her husband. She does not give coffee to her husband. She asks her husband, there is no milk, go to the market, get the packet, boil it, prepare coffee, give it to me first. If anything remains, you drink next. And she is a great yogi. Yogis are capable of being useful to others, utilitarian aspect. And that is the cultural flora of this country. If this Prashanti is started, it is not to become commercially rich, it is to become more and more useful to society. Dr. Nagendra could have been in NASA. He could have earned money. He could have enjoyed the pleasures of the body. He could have become a powerful, more popular scientist. No. Let me unearth the old things. Let me bring yoga to the surface. Let me prove to the world that yoga is scientifically based. And he tried to popularize yoga. That is the utilitarian aspect. A teacher is a better teacher if he studies for the benefit of the student. A mother is loved because she does not live for herself. She lives for the welfare of the children. Any rich man is only a trustee. These are the highest concepts understood by the word yoga. When I do yoga, I mean to say that I am observing all the Ashtanga yoga aspects. When I say I am a bhakta, do you have the Salokyam, Samipyam, Sarupyam, Sayudyam? 4 steps. When I am a Jnani, I am practicing Jnana Yoga. Am I listening to Shravanam? Am I contemplating, ruminating, Mananam? Am I meditating, Nidhyasanam? These are the sub-aspects. Every yoga, every journey, every word has so much hidden. I married that girl means I looked at her. I wrote a love letter to her, I met her, I received the blows, and everything was over. I married ultimately with the permission or without the permission of the parents, and the honeymoon, etc. All those things are understood. Let us go to the minor aspects. Let us observe them carefully, study them carefully, implement them carefully. Then we are really yogis. Discipline, discipline, discipline at the core of everything, at the top of everything. Discipline can never be dispensed with. Even at the ripe old age, I have to eat. Food cannot be dispensed with. Sleep cannot be dispensed with. Discipline can never be dropped. Those who are adhering to the discipline will be the best yogis. May we all, by the grace of God Almighty, become good yogis by observing all the minute details such as discipline. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve